type and final type of problems that we're going to do in these videos, it's when you have a problem solving or practical problems. So this one says, calculate the value of the missing side length, give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So in this case, they are actually giving us the diagram. Very often, you are not going to be given the diagram, and you have to find and draw the triangle, see it in the real life problem, and do the calculations. But in this case, they were giving us the triangle. So what are the steps? So because it's a problem solving, we first have to define the pronumeral. Then we have to draw the diagram and label it. Then we have to write the Pythagorean theorem, substitute values into the rule, simplify, run your answer to how many places are required. It says here again to 1, correct to 1 decimal place. Fantastic. So first we have to define our pronumeral. So I'm going to say, let A, why am I writing so badly today? Let A be the, I like to use exactly the same word, missing side length. The missing side length. Okay, now we're going to draw the diagram, and we're going to label it. So I'm going to draw it like this. And I'm going to label it. So it says here that is 84 millimeters. And the hypotenuse is 12 centimeters. This is my right angle triangle. Perfect. And I decided that A was the missing side, so this one is A. You don't have to use colors. I'm just using it with colors, so it's easier for you to see that we're always which are the pronumerals and labeling the triangle, but you don't have to use colors for this. So the hypotenuse, as always, is the longer side and is the opposite to the right angle. So this one is C. Perfect. Now notice that I have here 84 millimeters and I have 12 centimeters, so I need to put them both in the same units. I'm going to change the 12 centimeters. I'm going to change it to millimeters. So this one is becoming 120 millimeters. Now, perfect. So now with my steps, I have drawn the diagram, I have labeled it. Now I'm going to write Pythagoras theorem, substitute, simplify, round. And I missed there. I can, and you can put step number 7 is give your answer in full sentence. I'm just going to write here full sentence. You can write the whole thing. Give your answer in full sentence. I missed that part. Okay, good. So I'm going to write my Pythagoras again, because I'm missing in this case A and not C. I'm going to use one of the 2 modifications to the Pythagoras theorem. So I'm going to write A squared is equal to C squared, take away B squared. And now I'm going to substitute. 8 remain the same. C is 120 square, take away 84 square. And then I have A square is equal to 14,400, take away 7,056. You can do this in your CAS in only one step. I just want to put all the steps so you can have your notes complete. Then you write A squared is equal to, if you do this operation in your CAS, you get that is 7,344. And if I square root both sides, then I get that this is the square. A is going to be the square root of 7,344. And if you press this in your CAS calculator, you get that A is equal to 85.697 keeps going. Again, you don't have to write this step. I'm just doing this one to show you how I'm doing the rounding. So it says to 1 decimal place. So I have the next place value is a 9. So this is going to round up. So A is equal to 85.7 watt millimeters. And I have to give my answer in full milliliters. So we write, therefore, my answer is therefore, the missing side length is 85.7 millimeters. Fantastic. Last part of this video, and we are done. Last part of these videos is to talk about Pythagorean triads. So a Pythagorean triad is a group of 3 whole numbers that satisfies the Pythagoras theorem. So if we look at this example, it says 3, 4, and 5 satisfy that the Pythagoras theorem. So let's see why. So because, quick question here, girls, and just indulge me. I know that you are not going to, I'm not going to hear your answer, but let me pretend that I'm going to hear it. Which of these 3 numbers is the hypotenuse? Is it 3, 4, or 5? So it's going to be 5 because it's always the longest number. It's the longest side of the triangle. Agree? So this is a Pythagorean triad because if I do 5 square, has to be equal to 3 square plus 4 square. And if we do this, 5 square is 25, 3 square is 9, plus 4 square is 16, and 25 is equal to 9 plus 16 is 25. So correct, correct, correct. This is a Pythagorean triad. Okay? Now, if each term of a triad is multiplied by the same number, the result is also a triad. So if I have the triad that we saw before, 3, 4, and 5, and we multiply by 2, what is my new triad? So if I multiply each term by 2, then this one becomes 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. And if we verify this one, let's see if this one is a triad. So again, which one is the hypotenuse? It has to be 10 because that's the longest side. So 10 square has to be equal to 6 square plus 8 square. And this is 100 equal to 36 plus 64. And this is 100 equal 100, which means that it works, it works, it works. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, now, these are famous Pythagorean triads that you can memorize, or is good to know because they will be very useful if you have a problem and you know that they're telling you. I'm going to just draw it here, and they're giving you a problem like this, and they're saying, okay, this triangle has the hypotenuse is 13, one of the sides is 12. What is going to be A? So you don't have to do any calculations, because if you already know your Pythagorean triads, you'll say, okay, A is equal to 5, because you already know that this triad follows the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, and this is the end of these videos. We hope you find them useful, and we will keep working together.